So yesterday we were talking about, or 2 days ago, Destroy Lonely versus Carti rookie year. Then Hyperpop Daily posts something on Instagram, and I was like, you know what? It's actually way closer. Where he was comparing, or he, she, it, whoever Hyperpop Daily is, was comparing Yeat's freshman year to Carti, because Yeat has had a pretty big like freshman come up, right? And he backed it up with stats. So did Yeat have a better rookie year than Carti? I actually have a contrarian opinion, so wait for it. So Yeat's 2 Alive aimed at like top 5 debut on the US albums chart with over 35k sold first week. Okay, highest charting project. Carti, with his self-titled project, his first studio album, or mixtape actually, debuted at number 12 on the Billboard 200 with 28k. So he got beat by Yeat. Now people in the chat are saying TikTok. I agree. However, there was still YouTube, and Magnolia was on radio, which I don't think Yeat was on radio, and radio boosts songs a lot. So I don't know if they're equivalent, but here's why I think Playboi Carti is actually his rookie year is better. And I think people are forgetting this. 2 Alive wasn't his freshman album, man. It wasn't. Remember? Up to Me was. He had a distro deal with like Interscope for Up to Me. And that didn't sell anywhere close to where self-titled was. So there's no even question here. Carti still has the better debut. People forget about that. I think eventually Up to Me got up to like number 91 on Billboard 200. Like months later, he had a bunch of trending songs. Don't get me wrong, like Money So Big, and a lot of the songs, honestly. Up to Me was a great project. But again, just like with Destroy Lonely, you can't compete with Magnolia because that was a Billboard hit, like single. Whereas Yeat just didn't have that. And just frankly, the amount of music that Carti had out at that time compared to what Yeat does, like the impact, I feel like actually Yeat had a pretty big impact. Like Yeat took over. But again, it's not. Also, Yeat is like the biggest thing that came out of this generation. So it seems like he's the biggest thing ever to this niche or audience. Whereas Carti was competing with like other big people such as Uzi, X, Juice. Like there was just a lot more competition. Nowadays, as an underground rapper or a newcomer, if you're selling like 34k like Yeat did, like you're like, well, damn, this dude's really up next. Whereas 21k, people didn't even really, bat an eye at that. It is just the definition of 2017 versus TikTok. But I don't necessarily think TikTok is really a bad thing. I do wonder what Magnolia and some of these other songs would be if there was TikTok, because TikTok opens up basically the whole world to a certain song, whereas before, a lot of rap and music in American culture at least only really spanned Canada, US, maybe some Europe, but like it didn't go into other random countries, right? Where TikTok is global. I think it's like it has the most monthly active users out of any social media ever. Broke Boy definitely bigger than Yeat and Destroy Lonely whole career. Nah, I don't think so. Let me go on SoundCloud real quick. Carti Broke Boy. Let's see how many views it had. 51.6 million, bruh. Like, no hate. Broke Boy was definitely I know it got more on the YouTube music video. It was definitely a monumental moment for the underground back then in the original SoundCloud era, but Yeat's already in like the hundreds of millions for Spotify and whatnot. But remember, we're comparing different points in time, just like Destroy Lonely and Carti, what we did 2 days ago, to Yeat. Remember, if you go back, Yeat actually came in the game. Pause. Yeat Elevator. There's actually kind of a history that I'm looking into in Yeat, but he was actually rapping in 4 years ago. What was that? It is 2023, 2019, bruh. So technically speaking, he was already getting big looks by Elevator, which was huge. It had over 1 million subscribers at the time on multiple music videos. So was that his freshman, or are we just comparing to when he actually, I don't know, got really big hits? Because technically Yeat's basically a junior at this point already. Am I wrong? If we want to go off views, Lil Pump outdid everyone low key with Gucci Gang. But the thing is, yeah, I mean, that just comes to the difference of quality versus just objective views. Like was Gucci Gang a good song? I think everybody would say that was a trash song. However, Lil Pump is actually he's probably more famous than Playboi Carti if you were to go into a normie, like a mall, right? Like people, if you show them Lil Pump or you ask them who Lil Pump is, they probably know who that is just because he is iconic for the image of a SoundCloud rapper. He is the face of it basically, or one of them, along with like Uzi and Yachty. Unfortunately, I'm not condoning this message, but yeah. So now Gucci Gang, was it a better song than any of the music that we're talking about? Of course not. That shit was trash. And yeah, 6ix9ine was global too, especially with the whole snitching thing. Him on YouTube. It matters about the medium as well. Like 6ix9ine was a very YouTube based artist, whereas a lot of these people were SoundCloud, other rappers were SoundCloud, and that's more American kind of audience, or at least SoundCloud rap was. YouTube kind of spans, it's like a TikTok almost, where it's more global. It gets recommended to multiple audiences, and you can even use ads to reach other audiences. Wasn't Carti rapping since 2013? Yes, but we're talking about like when they first kind of blew up. That's when I think of freshman year, because basically every single rapper has a period where, you know, they're rapping for like, I'd say most at least, because some like Lil Pump even rap for like a whole year and then he already blew up just because of the ignorance that he was partaking in. But like Carti was he was rapping in like 2013 for a few years. So was Yeat though. Yeat was probably rapping since 2015, 16. All of these people were just making like trash garage band songs for a few years, just like how I was making YouTube videos since like 2016, making trash. But like finally it clicks. But I would say that the first like video or song that like let's say gets 10-20k views, that's really your freshman year when you're starting that, when you get a little bit of momentum. It might be more than 10 or 20k, it might be 100k. But again, if you're on Elevator, a lot of times you actually need to be signed to get on that, or at least back in the day. I know they did independent artists, but you need to be like managed or whatever. These songs are claimed by some company, so I think he was definitely signed in some capacity originally. Elevator was easy to get on. Okay bruh, you could think that you either needed to pay or you needed to have like an in. I know that for a fact, at least when it blew up. Let's be honest, Yeat is way bigger than Carti was in 2017, but again, we're comparing like Die Lit Carti, which is 2018, his sophomore album, which is Two Alive, and Life, Yeat, where Die Lit sold like 50 or 60k, whereas we're comparing that to Two Alive, which sold 34k, and Life 34k. So we'll see. I mean, 2023 will be the year where we can compare kind of like the sophomore albums, who's on a higher trajectory. It'll be interesting. We'll see. Like what did let's see, Carti Die Lit first week sales. And back then it was actually easier to get sales. So if but yeah, Yeat is actually streaming a lot too. I'll give it to y'all. Like he was on the top 50 list, even streaming more than Carti right now. But again, he just has so much more music out. And maybe first week sales aren't really a good comparable or comparison, because again, it's like inflation. First week sales have deflated. It's harder to get first week sales, whereas before, I don't know, you could finesse it with merch bundles or streams, or people were still buying albums back then in 2018 on this release. He has 61K though, so he got to beat that. Like even Lil Wayne was selling like 1 million for the Carter 3, and it's like nowadays, what would that sell? I don't know. I don't think Yeat fell off though. I don't know why you're saying that. Like again, you gotta wait till these projects come out. Once Afterlife comes out, and you know, however it does, whatever the reception is, then you can say whatever. But you could not like somebody's music, and you have to accept the facts. Like just go by the numbers. Like if Afterlife sells like 61K, then what are you gonna say? You're gonna be like, oh, he fell off, or like he's still falling off, blah blah blah. Doesn't make sense to me. He hasn't had a hit yet. Yeat has definitely had a hit, bro. I'm not even trying to just be like a dick rider, but let's go to a Spotify. Look at all these streams. Out the Way. That's more recent too. That's on Life. 72 mil, 83 mil. I agree he doesn't have like a hot 100 Billboard hit though. You're right on that end. Although Talk might have. Wait, let me see something. And he had the Minions song, but let me go to his chart history because you could be right. He might not have like an actual charting hit on Billboard. Oh, he does. Look, it's not a hit though. You're right. I wouldn't say it's like top 50, but Flawless with Uzi on it was 77. Talk was kind of a hit though. Number 42 is getting there, right? Rich Minion with the Lyrical Lemonade music video, number 99. Number 95 with Money So Big, popping at number 91. I don't know, man. He's kind of getting close. Label push. Okay, bro. Either way, Talk was a great song. If you don't think that all these other major mainstream artists are getting pushes to get singles, like I'm always against that. Y'all know me, but sometimes that's how a hit occurs. Come on. So we can't just lie to ourselves just because you don't like an artist. When is Afterlife dropping? I think like this month. He posted like a story with a 2 on it and a question mark, but I'm comparing Carti. I agree. No. Actually, let's do the final determiner. Carti, Magnolia, Billboard history. It hit number 79. So technically, but again, Magnolia was like the first song that came out from Carti that like really blew up. What is Carti's chart history? Man, because Yeat actually might be bigger than where Carti was around this time. Let's do music charts archive. Albums, he's already killing it. He had number 1, number 3, number 12. Like Carti's winning in that aspect, but that's because he's been, you know, more developed. Carti had a number 7 with Pay 1993, but that was a feature, so I don't really count. Missed the Rage, number 11, but again, that was way longer in his career. Magnolia was number 29. So we're good. Look, Magnolia charted higher than Yeat. So look, man, Carti had a certified hit back in those days. And now it's his like first official release basically, but the growth is crazy on both of them. Like you gotta respect both, not just Carti or Yeat. Like we're comparing, but still like they're both goats in their own right. And don't kill me for saying GOAT. I'm just saying like, you know, they're both gonna be looked back upon like, damn, they really did it. Academic said first quarter, so it's still a chance Carti drop. Nah, man. I really doubt Carti's dropping anytime soon. He's just not ready. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more lore to this album. Like he needs to post some tweet with an idea that's not just quote music or like narcissist because he already scrapped. He needs something to look forward to. I don't know, because we knew what Whole Lotta Red was way before, like 2.5, 3 years before it dropped. Same thing with like Eternal Take, right? Die Lit as well. And we just don't know what we're waiting for now. It's kind of just like we're waiting for him to drop, but we don't know what the concept is. He's kind of still King Vamp, right? We don't know what he even sounds like in this new era. I think it's just gonna be like straight rock star stuff with like obviously hip hop infused, but it's kind of like Whole Lotta Red on steroids, where it was still rap and like hyper pop, but it's gonna move straight into like mostly rock with 808s, if you get what I'm saying. Like the hardcore filthy guitar beats, crazy mosh pit. He's gonna turn into character like Kiss, wearing face paint, Rockstar on stage, but like distorted 808s everywhere that Rockstars didn't have back in the day. But I don't know if he's dropping anytime soon. I can't imagine him having something ready in time that's going to make as much of an impact. Like I don't know if the people are ready for that. And plus Uzi's about to drop, and with Just Wanna Rock, I think that, you know, it would behoove Carti to let Uzi have his time, because Uzi, quite frankly, is going to outsell Carti right now with Just Wanna Rock. So Carti still got one more project to go before he can start potentially passing Uzi. But it looks like Uzi just extended his career a little more. But I think Uzi, after this, he's solidified in the fact that, I think he was already solidified, but I think he solidified that he's here to stay as like a top rapper. Like he is an OG, even more so than like Thug and them, because Thug is the OG and like influenced a lot of rappers underneath him in Atlanta, but he was never really selling as much as Uzi was. You know what I mean? Even though Uzi was heavily inspired by Thug, and same thing with Carti. I feel like Carti fans are really waiting on a response to Yeat. Yeah, I mean, I think in general, I don't know if it has to do with Yeat, but I think that they're waiting for something to take over other than Opium, which is Carti's own artist, or Yeat. Like they need something new, because Yeat was really the only fresh thing, but that wasn't even completely fresh because he got the original Alive or whatever 4L and Up to Me. Like it was kind of on the same wavelength. Now what will Afterlife be? I don't know, but he had the slow songs where it was like more melodic, or like the alien voice abducting him one night, sticking a pinky up his ass, where he was like, ah. So yeah, I think that fans are waiting for Carti to do something, but I think we knew that, like to come inspire the whole game.